Hi, I'm Dr. Meg. This is Dr. Carroll from Chiropractic Family Wellness Center here at Oasis Wellness Partners in Scarborough, Maine. Welcome back.
Today I want to talk a little bit about the next phase of life that we haven't touched upon yet. So if you've been sort of following along, you know we've talked about within the womb chiropractic care, we've talked about infancy, we've talked about being a little toddler, we've talked about raising children with chiropractic so that they can be confident in their body's ability to adapt to life and to grow well. And I think one of the most important things that Dr. Meg and I especially right now, are realizing in my own life that as we mature, you can call it age if you want, but as we mature in our body's journey, it is so critical to have chiropractic be a piece of my tool bag. And I think one of the things I thought of today is that the tool bag needs to have that in it, not because of where I am today, but what I chose to do 30 years ago, or even 40 years ago. When I was a 20-year-old college student, I was incredibly invincible. I don't know if you know that, but it happens when you're 20 and 25. And, you know, you can do anything. You can literally do anything. And later on, I found out those anythings were not exactly helpful for my system. I might not have even noticed them at the time. But now, 40 years later, I'm like, that's very interesting. And my system is teaching me what those events meant to my physiology. So I would say every piece of your health is an investment. And so as we go through each stage of life, and I'm investing right now for my life in the next 30 years. So I'm looking at down the road who I want to be as an elder and how I want to perform in my life. And do I want to be an active person in my life? And do I want to be healthy? And I think the one most important thing to me besides chiropractic is realizing that every single day I have a choice. You have a choice to decide how I'm going to eat today, who I'm going to hang out with, who I'm going to listen to, how much rest I'm going to get, if I'm going to move. Those are really important choices, and they come every minute, every day. Sometimes I'm still making ridiculous choices. I'm surprised at myself. But the one that I don't ever not choose, so I choose it every single week of my life, is to make sure I get my nervous system checked. To make sure that if I had made poor choices, even at this stage of my life, that I'm adapting. That those choices are being cleared of tension in my system so I can replicate new ideas in my nervous system, in my immune system, in my muscular system, in my digestive tract. So it's a piece, and I've noticed just watching people in here over time getting adjusted after the last 30 years of working with them, that every single event they go through is more easeful and adapt. It's not easy, but I'm saying it's more easeful because they do get adjusted and they're confident that that process is allowing them to unfold easefully.
And there are activities that you do, that we all do, that we want to be able to continue doing, even as we get older, especially as we get older and we have maybe a little more free time because we're not working as much. And the only way we're going to be able to continue to enjoy those activities is if we take care of our body now. And that's the way that chiropractic is such a critical tool. It's amazing to me. I play a lot of tennis, and there's chronic injuries just as in many sports, but so many of my peers, women my age and men my age, are so injured and they can't play because they aren't taking care of their bodies. They're not getting adjusted. They're not, the only exercise they do is tennis. They don't do yoga. They don't do massage or acupuncture. They have no other proactive elements of health in their lives. And they're very prone to injury, and it takes them out of what they want to do and how they want to be in their lives. It's very important to be very intentional as we get older and really think about, how do I want to show up for the next 20 or 30 years? And how active and how capable do I want to be? Because that's an investment I need to make now in order to have that capacity 20 or 30 years from now. When I used to do a lot of triathlon events, there's always 70, 80-year-olds who are doing these incredible events. 79-year-old woman did a half Ironman that I did about 5 years ago. And that, she wasn't a superhuman person. She has the same capacity that you and I have. But she did have very consistent practices of being proactive with her health. She got adjusted, she exercised obviously, and she ate really well. She's very intentional around her health. And so that's my goal. Like, I don't necessarily want to do another half Ironman, but I do want to have the capacity to do it. If I decided when I'm 80, like, yeah, I think I'll do another half Ironman, I want to physically be capable of doing it. And that's only going to happen if I focus on it now. It's in the moment now, the choices that we make that impact how we are going to show up 20 or 30 years from now. And chiropractic is, I think, the most important tool for showing up really well 20 or 30 years from now.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks.